SEO This Week, brought to you by Olympia SEO. Hey, welcome. This is episode 11, and our topics this week are fake news, influential women, and paid media. Now, what does fake news have to do with SEO? Probably not a darn thing, unless you're actually promoting one of these sites. And they make them because they make a lot of money. There's nothing. It's the National Enquirer is a fake news newspaper, and nobody's censoring them. But we want to censor these fake news sites that people are passing around just because the major media outlets think you're too dumb to filter that stuff out yourself. But hey, it is what it is. So let's get started with this week's news articles. First, we'll go to the New York Times as Google and Facebook take aim at fake news sites. What they're doing is the major media outlets have actually called for them to censor what you read on their sites. I think, honestly, it seems like a First Amendment violation to me, and I look forward to maybe the opportunity to join in a class action lawsuit against them and probably the major media outlets for calling on them to do it. Who is it? Who are they to dictate to anyone what they should or should not read on the internet? If it's on their sites and they don't want it promoted on their paid ads, that's one thing. But if they set up filters to block these sites on their websites in order to eliminate the readership, then I think it's a class action lawsuit waiting to happen. That's my 2 cents on it. This article is written by 3 different authors. It doesn't appear to be biased in any way, but really it's just saying that Facebook and Google are no longer accepting ad money from these sites. But there's sure plenty of providers that are still will. It says there's a growing outcry over the distribution of these information to the American electorate. I blame the American electorate. If they're going to send it and share it and spread it around the planet is gospel because it's in line with their beliefs, and they don't want to except the national media, who was clearly biased during the election anyway, on his point of view, then hey, that's on them. It's not the website's fault, or Google's fault, or Facebook's fault, nor is it their responsibility to police that stuff. The second article is right along in line with that. It's on Wired. It's actually a pretty political post, honestly. It's this saying that the filter bubble is destroying American democracy. Basically because the author's point is that, i.e. the fake news stories or the real news stories somehow resulted in the election of Donald Trump, which is, if you read half of the article, is probably what I'd like you to get out of it, is the influence that the media has in both search engine optimization, marketing in general. And then if you want to, you can read the rest of the dribble about how they're sad that they lost the election and they're fearful because they're Muslim. As a Muslim American myself, I'm not fearful at all. And frankly, I think that fear is actually really interesting because the nation was all up in arms about Muslims. They didn't want them around. They didn't want Syrian refugees. They didn't want, every time something happened, the initial reaction of everybody was, oh, it must be a Muslim. And now all of a sudden the nation is embracing them because Donald Trump said what they were all thinking before the elections. I guess it goes to show you that if you run around for 17 months calling half the electorate racist and sexist, you're going to lose the election no matter what you do. And this goes to prove it. And now we have Donald Trump, God save us all, as our president for the next 4 years. Hopefully somebody better than Clinton and Trump can show up in 4 more years and take over this madness. Let's get away from the political stuff and go to the 50 most influential women in digital marketing. Now, this is a great post because it puts you in contact with people you probably might not have never heard of, and allows you to open your mind when it comes to who you think of as quote unquote influential. I skip the gurus and go to these women that are doing this stuff day in, day out. They don't get a lot of fanfare, whether that's sexism or just because they don't want it is up for you to decide. I'm going to go along with the lines of they don't want to be considered famous. They just want to do a good job, and they are, and that's why I think that they're on this list. You know, senior managers from Oracle, Fuse, HubSpot, another one from HubSpot, Dell again. These are all great women that are working for big companies, doing an exceptional job, and they should be recognized for it. And I think this post does that. Check it out. If you don't look at anything else on SEO This Week, number 11, check out the influential women. Connect with them, follow what they're doing, and maybe engage with them, and you might learn a little something. I know that I'm doing that, and we've added them to our people that we follow around online. Next, we go on to Moz. This is Samantha Noble. She's done a great whiteboard training on paid media and how to use it to drive loyalty and your brand advocacy. Now, if you follow Olympia SEO at all, or you're one of our clients, you know that we put branding up front. SEO, paid media, all that stuff is all designed in our programs to increase your brand and your brand recognition. And this is just yet another way to do that. By using retargeting in your paid advertising programs to advertise to your customers and to gain referrals and to recognize them and thank them for everything that they're doing to help you build your business. Very cool concept, some things to think about in here, and some ways to do that in the Whiteboard Friday video. So check that out. Go over to Kissmetrics, and they give us 25 e-commerce experts that are sharing their best tips for driving repeat sales online. Now, if you're in e-commerce, you might know a lot of all this stuff. However, there are probably one or two things in here that you can pick out. If you're just starting out, this is a great place to go. When you're setting up your website, just kind of make your own little checklist off of some of this stuff. And I'll just give you a few examples. Obviously, develop a loyalty program, focus on building customer trust, get new customers from loyal fans, i.e. those are referrals, share 10x content. Let's see what else we got. Build a great brand, and offer a rewards program. Promote on product packaging, i.e. like Zappos.com. Everything you get has their name all over their stuff. And then create urgency and scarcity, among some other things. So this is pretty interesting. Again, if you're doing a e-commerce site and just starting out, this would be great you can kind of use this as a template to build your digital marketing plan. And if you are already in an e-com kind of stagnant, then come over here and get some more ideas. And finally, we're going to look at Google and their unveiling of a new AdWords extensions called Price Extensions. This article is on Search Engine Journals from Matt Southern. And basically what they're doing is adding it so that you can put your prices, particularly on mobile, in these little cards. It's very cool to see those. And I think if leveraged properly, even big businesses or businesses that are offering higher price stuff could take advantage of those. So look at those in your AdWords campaigns and see if it's going to work for you. On the flip side of that, also I'd like to add that the YouTube has done what's called what we're calling a YouTube smash. Basically, they took channels that were using YouTube Live, and if they were syndicating several hundred, even some people were doing thousands or millions of videos, YouTube de-indexed their channels or deleted their channels altogether. And in some cases, they deleted their entire Google accounts. Honestly, I think it's a good thing for us because YouTube Live was a benefit that resulted in almost immediate rankings for our clients. And there are people that use that and leverage it to create nothing but junk, and now they're paying the price for it. Unfortunately, I think the rest of us kind of got rolled up in it too, because if you're looking at your YouTube live videos, some of them are dropping in and out of the indexes, both at Google Organic and at YouTube. So it's something that you have to keep an eye on after you publish. Typically what we're seeing is our latest video, we indexed it, it dropped out, we indexed it again, and now we're waiting for 3 or 4 days, which seems to be the pattern, to see if it drops out again, and we'll have to re-index it. And hopefully if it drops out, we might even just wait a day or two to see if it comes back on its own. But it looks like they're doing something significant in the algorithm that is severely affecting indexing for YouTube. I've also noticed this with citations, i.e., there's a lot of citation sites beyond Yext, service sites, but Yelp, Yellow Pages, Super Pages, White Pages. We're building new citations, and then we're checking in the index, and those aren't there. We're having to resubmit them. It's still early. We're trying some other services, i.e., we're using Yext almost exclusively right now to build the primary 76, but we're getting with some other people, other agencies that we work with, and see who are building theirs and whether they're maintaining indexing. It could be just a sign that Google is cleaning up the index. Maybe RateBrain is cleaning up the index. All that is all conjecture, but it's something interesting. Also in Schema local business, before you had to have a logo, and now you have to have a logo and a separate image inside of your Schema markup. If you're running an e-com store and you didn't have a project image, that is now required from what we can see. And then they are adding warnings for telephone numbers, and if you're adding contact points, and price ranges for businesses. I think, now this comes from the Jimmy Kelly group, but I think that what may be happening is they had what's called rich cards in recipes, and this is what they found, and going through their schema and fixing stuff that Richard B. from SERPworks pointed out, which is the new image requirement. They found that that card is actually showing up for local businesses. This is pretty cool, because then it means in mobile listings, businesses will have the opportunity to have an image there and highlight their image using schema markup in their rich cards. My guess is the rich cards will push down the either the maps or the organic listings. However, if you set up your images right and you can essentially rank that rich card, then you get a lot of traffic and engagement off of mobile that way. So something to think about. So that's it for SEO this week, episode 11. Thank you very much. If you have any websites you'd like us to highlight, some news you want us to share, go ahead and contact us on the Facebook video if you're listening to the podcast, or just come to OlympiaSEO.com and you'll see in our latest post ticker, SEO This Week, episode 11. Drop a comment in, and we'd like to hear from you. Thank you very much.